choke cable snag, whether it be this choke or your right side choke. What I have noticed is the shoulder choke on the newer Mosquito models. This is the one that's more problematic, but I have had the side choke snag also. And I'll show you what the issue is that I found. You know, when I started the Mosquito, warmed it up and got it up to 8,800 RPM, make sure that I had enough RPM for a good launch. When I shut it down by the shoulder choke. You know, just pulled that. What I did not realize is it did not retract all the way. And the reason it did not retract all the way is right here. So this is the corner of the tank. And of course, when that's full, I've got it just sitting in here right now. It's empty. So when this is full, that's a lot of weight. And look where that bears down. These are the choke strings or choke ropes right here. This is your, looks like it's the shoulder choke, and this is the side choke. So what happened is, you can see right here, the gas tank rests right on the choke lines. And with all that weight on there, it did not let the choke retract, and it held the choke open. And you can't see it from here, but you'll notice on my launch to my daughter's homecoming, like mid climb, it stalled. Well, it didn't really stall. I thought it stalled. But what had happened is, you know, the choke was still kind of engaged and it lost power. I thought, well, it stalled, so I spit the mouth throttle out. You know, I had that in, I spit it out, and then I listened and I heard the engine was still running, so I grabbed the throttle again and bit down and climbed the rest of the way out, but it never did run right. So I thought, what the heck is happening? And that's when I remembered, I bet this tank is pinching on these cables again. So you saw me kind of wiggle my harness around to try and get this tank shifted. Eventually it did shift and let the choke retract. I already have a change of plans. I had 1/2 inch tubing figured, but when you join these two knots together and, you know, make that loop with this this line here, they won't fit through that pipe, through that tubing. So I found me some 3/4 inch, and it's blue, so it matches. Found me some 3/4 inch, reamed it out, and then I'm going to use this because it'll reach all the way up underneath this tank bracket. And the idea is to get this cable sleeve inside here too, so nothing can catch. You got some sharp edges here that could potentially catch somewhere. You got some knots here that could catch, you know, on your fuel filter. So this tube, 3/4 tube, should encase all that, and it should slide freely in here. This is a fuel tank. It can't pinch the lines either. So I'm going to secure it one end here and then the other end there. So that's what I'll work on now. Okay, so this is what I ended up doing. The two knots were still pretty wide, so I ended up just taking some black tape and taping one on top, one on bottom, and then at the joint there, I just took a small zip strip and zipped the joint of tape so it wouldn't come unraveled, and then just took a torch and melted the tip so that zip strip wouldn't come out. Bungee cord ends, just kind of cut those short and then burnt those off. So now should be able to just let the choke line a little bit tighter. Now I should be able to slide this. See how that slides right through? Doesn't catch, no friction. So I'm gonna, at the end of this cable sleeve, I'm just gonna slide it maybe an inch past it or so. That way the sleeve cable end is in here, and then on this end, lift this tank up. I'm going to attach that there. This cable end from the shoulder choke, it also has I can't get to it now, but well, maybe you can if I pull it back. It's hard to see, but this cable sleeve has an end to it too, and it's right about in here. So in order to keep that from catching on anything, now that is encased inside this little blue conduit. I guess is what I'll call it, the conduit. So there's your 2 choke lines, one from the shoulder, this is from the right hip. So now they're encased in this conduit. And the tank, when this is in place, the tank will actually sit on top of this sleeve and will not pinch your choke lines. So I'm going to get that attached there on both ends, and this will be done. Main choke cable goes through there, and it's tied in a knot somewhere around in this area that connects the 2 choke lines. One splits off to the right side, your hip, and then the other one is a momentary choke right here on your shoulder. So nice and smooth now. Operates just fine. The gas tank does sit on this conduit, this blue conduit I put in. Sits right on it. I might want to move this bungee cord to the other side of the conduit. I probably will do that just to make sure it doesn't catch on that tank like the choke line did. But this bungee cord is just for the landing gear retraction. So I don't think it's gonna catch. I might just leave it go. Anyway, that's the fix. I did a tape down here, and that basically keeps this pipe from sliding back and forth. And then I did a zip strip around the tape too, so it wouldn't come undone. And then I just did one zip strip here against or around the gas tank mount, so it's good and secure there. And you can kind of see the 2 lines go in here. So this is the sleeve from the shoulder strap, your choke, and it's actually inside this conduit. This rope is a pretty straight shot through, so I don't think it'll catch on these edges. Plus I reamed them out. Other than that, pretty good shape. Alright, hope this helps. Happy flying.